Most of the community knew him as Flute or Kid Flute, and I was one of the people in a smaller community that knew him by his actual name, which was Akash.
You already had 5 people.
I want to talk about my side of the story, how things went down, how I met him, the experiences we shared, how he made me into Young City, this other persona, how he brought out the best in me. And maybe some bad things too.
You too, bro? Yeah, I'm saying, oh, me? Yeah, I smoke every, 12 hours.
There's certainly a lot of things I think him and I regret doing, but this video is not to talk about that. It's to move on from that and showcase how this man has impacted my life. Akash was a big part of my life from August 2020 to April 21, and he was significant until around my birthday in 2022. That's when I started to distance myself from him. Akash had an interesting story. He grew up in Atlanta till he was about 7 years old. Then he moved with his parents to West Bengal in India. He spent about a couple years there, which after that he moved to Massachusetts. And right before high school, he moved back to Atlanta in Forsyth County. As diverse as his background is, he is still 100% Atlanta native. It was his calling. Talking to a lot of his high school friends, that was what he wanted to do. He wanted to be in the city. He was as Atlanta as you get, and my first real influence to Atlanta culture and just city life.
Out of here. It's my last day anyway. I'm done. Going to college.
Cool. Where you going?
Georgia Tech.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah.
I met Akash when I first arrived at Georgia Tech, and back then I didn't really have too many ambitions, no interest in being an engineer, even though that's what I went to school for. And my only thing that I was doing that summer was making music, so that's what I wanted to put myself out there for. When I first went there, I didn't really know anybody, and this first week we had the orientation, where they would show all the freshman students around, give us activities. And I remember by the second day, everybody had already been in their own groups, and I was just standing there by myself with my food. Nobody to talk to. I knew one friend from middle school, which later I found out he was there. And as an outsider, someone from a different state, I didn't understand how much of a clean slate that was, completely different friend group. You have a chance to be somebody else. And I took that chance. On the third day, we had this little cookout thing that I went to, and me and the only other guy I knew, we went together. We sat with this random group. We were having some conversation, very superficial. It was hard to fit in, and all of a sudden I see this tall dude, 6'2", and he's coming with this entourage, random people. And the way he's carrying himself is just different. I could tell he was like, whoa, who's this guy? He walked up casually to our table, and he's like, I got this little song out. It's called Timepiece. And I checked it on Spotify, or on SoundCloud, which he was promoting shit. And it had 38 plays. I remember when it had 38 plays. So I played it, and I was bumping it. I was like, it's a good song. But everybody around me was finding a reason to hate on it. They were finding a reason to hate on it. And before he left, he plugged his Instagram, so I took the opportunity. Obviously, I followed him. And he was just follow me on Instagram. My name is Kid Flute, flute like the instrument. That just that interaction stuck in my head. It was different than the other 20, 30 interactions I had that day. I've been putting myself out there, but that one really stuck.
No, my side, and I ain't got a list. In this whole game, I ain't had no assists. Said y'all had Lee, always think about a bit. Did a lot of things. Wait, no, retake it.
That same day, I found him on Instagram and hit him up. We linked up. I showed him one of my music videos for a song called Different. Not something I'm willing to show off now, but back then I was really proud of it. I showed him some of the beats I made, some of the stuff that my group was working on. That same week I met Ruckus, who at the time was one of his producers. I remember Ruck had this really beat up white car we used to drive in, and I would be crammed in the back. It was nasty as fuck. But both of them started to come to my dorm room and we got to work. So I remember showing him some of my beats. Ruckus would show me his and we were playing for flute. And around the same time, actually, a friend of mine introduced me to Jumbo, who would later be one of my best friends and collaborators. On August 15th, Flute and I began our first session.
Shout out my dog, stuck in the kennel. I got me a Lambo, but that shit a rental. Get my gold on, that shit be dental on. Won't see your face, shit, please flip the channel. Two-tone, wet down on my wrist, it blue zone. Drip down on my feet, moving on. I be losing that nigga, kneel down and come me tiptoe around on parchments.
On August 21st, Flute and I recorded our first song.
Brown boy still came out the slum. I still pill that got him numb. YSL, I'm anaconda. He'll flute that'll make him run. Tyreek ran away, they caught him. Left my partner without his son. Left him lonely, he ain't got no bun. Made D-Rap go get my fun.
Just 3 days later, on August 24th, Flute previewed to me and a few other people a song called Magic City, which included a feature from Mechanicsville rapper KT Briz.
I keep my mind running, I still in the rate. I just caught me a two-toner still around my neck. Hit 3 girls a day, I'm addicted to sex. I'm in just feeling no grip around my back.
In my fucking club and I'm throwing racks. And she tooting that ass to the north, but I'ma just tell her to come to the back. Cause my package look extra sloppy, just need some cheese.
I helped design a visualizer for the release, which would later premiere on his IG account for promotion. Just 3 days after that, Sean E., the lead producer for the now 527 Records, provided a new instrumental for Vicious with newer drums and better melodies. That same day, 527 rapper Jugstar K added a feature to a beat, but it was eventually scrapped in the final mix. That was also the first day Jumbo, Flute, and I were in the studio at the same time. There's a lot of energy, and I saw Flute as hungry as he could be during that session. At the end of the session, the noise and the energy had attracted all the other students in the dorm, and there was a small group outside while we were recording. I remember the song being an instant hit within the students of my dorm. That studio session marked the first turn in our relationship. I started feeding Flute more and more beats from Sean E. and I, now officially branded as 527, which was my current label. On August 30th, Flute invited Atlanta rapper Young Fit, which resulted in the creation of the ATL beat, and this was one of my first times really interacting with true ATL natives, going into the car, smoking them up, hotboxing. I felt so out of place that session, like I had nothing in common, but we still made some heat.
If he bothering me, gon' be on the floor. Why is he calling me? I do not know. Why cause she asking me if I got blow? People are going over their head like a drum. If I lose it, then I'm getting it back. If we fuck this beat up, I'm getting it wet. And I'm coming in hard cause I need to get racks. Just pray to the stars, I don't need me a strap.
In September of 2020, I started getting more in-depth with Akash. Conversations just beyond music, and we would regularly hang out, get food, live new experiences. First time riding in the back of a cop car, that was with Akash. We were doing a lot of stupid things, taking a bunch of videos with it. And around this time, funnily enough, COVID was going around, and Akash got COVID. We knew he got COVID. I literally I hung out with him that week that he had COVID, and then the next morning I woke up feeling so sick. I'm 100% convinced that he's the one that gave it to me. But you know what? That experience ended up being really interesting because for 10 days the university locked me in a hotel. Luckily I brought my setup with me, so I was still doing music. And during that time, obviously I wasn't supposed to, but I would leave the quarantine almost every day. And one of the times I pushed up a lot to Flute's place. It was during this time in September that I was introduced to Akash's high school friends, like Ketan and Amogh. In September 22, Akash made a group chat with all of us, nicknamed Delinquents, which, although it was a pretty short-lived group, it was one that changed me a lot. My experiences with Flute got me more comfortable working in the studio, and I eventually branched out to other artists like Rags to Riches to get my name out even more, often facilitating studio sessions in a new environment. I was also motivated to reignite my own label, with a collaboration song from Javed and Flute called Eastside.
Call me up and I pull up to the party on the north side. Bitches bending backwards, same shit I seen on the east side. Too much in my system. I'm gon' hot that shit. See about that bitch.
While it didn't see the light of day, it still marked a stronger bridge between 527 and Flute. During the COVID situation, I was faced with a big decision to either stay where I'm at or move from the east side of campus to a larger apartment on the west side, where I'd finally have my own room. It placed me right next to the Western Village, and most importantly at the time, much closer to Flute so I could record more easily. As I moved in, Flute and Ruck showed me a lot of cool things, like how to open locked doors, which allowed me to have a dedicated studio to record with Flute. Around this time, I became his main producer and engineer. Armed with new beats from Shawnee and 527 Records, we got to work. Akash also really inspired me to start messing with my own production, taking samples from online, experimenting with drums, and fine-tuning my sound to mess with Atlanta stuff. 3 new projects arose during this time.
Ho ass nigga, ho ass nigga, ho ass nigga. Don't give a fuck about these ho ass nigga, ho ass nigga, ho ass nigga. Run for 12, I might pop a motor. Gotta get the bag, I'm getting older. On my partner, we be toting like soldiers. Told my lawyer.
Run to me for my dog. When we pull up, they just keep running off. Chapping on windows, some will fall. Oh, you know I still care at all. Saliva be wet, keep dripping my balls. If I want my money, I'm still standing tall. And now all these snakes can slither with y'all. I need to call her. She stay on room off.
Yeah. I just got the play and I went in on the track. Shorty bringing friends, we got some hand in the back. That bitch got some drama while she tripping like that. 100 times 10 what I spend, that's a
I also went to record more with Rags to Riches, growing a lot more confident this time, and hosting entire studio sessions by myself. On October 22nd, Akash dropped his second song, Vicious. It was a big hit amongst the community and a starting point for his music on campus, but he was already thinking way ahead of it by this time.
Yeah. Hey man, go stream our new song, bro. Vicious. Swipe up the freeway, exit on the E-way. Don't care what he or she say. She help us sell on eBay. They said I couldn't rap. I told them that shit cap.
In November of 2020, we brought the same energy. More studio sessions, more people Flute would bring in, more nonsense going on in the studio. I started building a larger network, meeting more people on campus, and at one point I invited 40 people into my dorm room. Being with Akash was comfortable now. He'd be the guy I'd call if things went wrong, if I needed someone to talk to. And during this time, we introduced our friends to each other. On November 7th, Akash dropped his second single during college, a finished version of the league Run Up, produced by Ruckus and featuring KT Briggs.
Slide 2, 2, 3, be kept with a silence. I'm from the 6, so I ain't talking about violence. Another day on the road, gotta watch for them sirens. Cooking shit up like I'm doing some science. Somnia caught me a Eddie, dreaming of baddies and patties. Food on my 9, gon' get that shit tatty. 9 ain't nigga, no wonder he ready.
Give me some rats and you know I ain't gon' fumble it. Niggas be talking, but you know they mumble. They give me the ball and you know I'ma score. You play with catch, then I cut your throat. If he steps to the game, then you know he gon' choke. He is a bitch and you know it's gon' show.
Yes, sir.
December in Georgia Tech meant exams and winter break, a period where I got to spend more time with family and other friends, as well as develop 2 new songs for 527, marking our first music since summer of 2020. During this time, Flute was talking with a lot of Atlanta rappers trying to set me up in studio sessions, and it was the first time I really started picking up on the lingo, started to become more like him. Right before the break, we had another project nicknamed Colorful, which was leaked and produced by 527's Sean E.
Late night just round the block with my partner. Backwood get searched, guess I'm trying to be a doctor. Too many bad intentions, gotta be careful who I talk to. These pussy folk trying to test me, they don't know I ain't bought.
After a nice break with family and time with my boys back home, it was time to get back to business with Flute. New semester, new people, new energy. Back to recording, back to trapping, the usual shit. Flute actually uses the Georgia Tech. I mean, he was smart. Flute was smart. He would get A's, B's in his classes, smart kid, and he knew how to finesse the system. Like, he would send his packs into the Georgia Tech mailbox, and they would disguise it as like something else through some web address, but he would send it through the Georgia Tech mailbox. Basically, he used the school's resources to help him make money. During this time, like, the connection between me and him became a little bit more deep. Touched on more personal themes. I started opening up about, my life, what I wanted to do. We talked about religion, God, politics, and I was able to get a feel for how he thought. He was eccentric, but he also was grounded. Like, he really fucked with his roots. But he had strong beliefs on how society should operate. He understood how cities move, how streets move, how people thought, what they wanted to do, especially in the environment that he was in. And he was tapped in spiritually a lot. He was raised Hindu, and he would use those influences to kind of help him see things, especially like connecting when he would smoke or whatever, take drugs. It would be like a combination of, like, it would open up his spirituality in that aspect. In addition, flute would always push me out of my comfort zone. I mean, telling me to only eat this and that, only drink water, chicken and rice every day, twice a day, and only drink water. I stopped drinking soda for that whole year. And trying to approach strangers, being in uncomfortable situations, putting me in studio sessions with weird people, new people, learning how to talk like him, learning how to facilitate these interactions, having me as a middleman for his business. I was involved in his life. I was starting to become like one of his goons.
After a short winter break, we got straight to work with music.
Baby, flute, I got your bitch on the knee. The rush with just a little breeze. Wiping his nose if he sneeze. Why I still got it in keys. Sunning on just like a niece. Move out the hood ain't move out of me. Taking that out. My partner robbing it, cause I told him my dog he a shooter, keep a foe on him. Ice in my cup, people think that it's soda. Walk with her, just so I bone him. Pop the pill and I still cop that little clothes. I'm about to deflate her motherfucking titty. Call me a vet, I be going and kidding. She fucking on me like a porn star. I might just get it on camera. Yeah, carry that guy, don't need help. Hump on my back like a camel. Did it my goddamn self. I just keep making these phone calls. That nigga, I got that stamina. All of these niggas be tripping. All of these niggas be fucking. All of these niggas be chumming. I'm gonna like a jumper.
In February, I was still running around with flute, and he was continuing to push me in every direction. This is about the time we started forming a core friend group and really going out clubbing. I even brought flute into the fraternity while I was pledging. In mid-February, the school maintenance found out that I was breaking into the unit next to me and setting up my studio equipment there. We continued to record anyway. A week later, Flute invited me to come to his house. While I was at his house, we smoked, recorded music, and talked about whatever. Flute had a fascination with reptiles, so the next day we went to a reptile store. I really enjoyed meeting his family and walking his dogs. Music-wise, February brought some of Flute's most interesting projects.
Flute gon' brace it like Saint coming in. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't want to stay. Once I hit it, I get gone. You two-faced brick, you looking like a flip phone. Like Blackberry. Big thing get soft like some Flintstone gummies. Niggas scream for it.
I just caught my plug, that's me. Got a couple big features laid out for free. Now I started charging, gon' make your pocket bleed. Honey, stacked up straight to the ceiling. I could be finishing sheets in the classroom. Next minute out with some nigga who gon' blast you. Triple across my city rockin', ain't got nothing written on it. They pay with my money, columns, might just had to merely rock 'em. Bruce Wayne, I'm in Gotham. My partner stuck in Arkham. The way these bro be sucking that dick, I know for sure they mama taught him. 7 p.m. we was smoking.
One of the songs we produced was eventually leaked on a YouTube account.
March 2021 was arguably the time that I was closest to Flute. I really felt like I was truly his disciple, going wherever he went, doing whatever he did, following his footsteps. I mean, I kept a little bit of distance is purely because I had my own school stuff to worry about, and I was trying to get more involved in my school stuff. But one of my favorite stories is I was leaving the dining hall, and suddenly I heard like the screech outside, and it was Ruckus. In that beater like white car, and Flute was inside. He's just like, get in, we're going to a club. I'm performing and I need you there, and he's my producer. I said, whatever. I had homework. It was 6 p.m. my homework due at midnight, but I just went with it. I literally just hopped in the car right at the dining hall. I was wearing like shorts and like just a plain jacket, and we linked up with KT Briz, the Mechanicsville rapper. All 4 of us, we headed to a club in Duluth, about like 40 minutes away. We were waiting in line for like 30 minutes, 1 hour. And we're facing a lot of trouble trying to get in because we're all underage. None of us are 21. Briz is 21, so he can get in, but like they're giving us a hard time. And while I was waiting in line, I just see a bunch of guys pull up with like OTF chains, 4PF chains. Everybody, they just went in. They just bypassed the line. They went straight in. And one of them, there's like a reporter that was reporting on them coming in the club. Dude was working for this company called Lennox Entertainment. And I remember he was like going through all, like interviewing all the OTF guys. And then he came to us for some reason. He's like, what y'all business? What y'all doing here? And I was just like, I'm a student, man. I'm just trying to like promote my music. So he's like, why don't you shout out Lennox Entertainment and maybe they'll let you in.
It was also during this time, around March 13th, when Sean E. from 527 Records came and visited Atlanta, staying in my dorm for the first time. Alongside me, he was also very inspired by Flute's energy, charisma, and personality, constantly stepping out of his comfort zone the way I did. In fact, the first time we were at the club, he forced Sean E. to approach multiple girls and get their numbers, saying that, "You're not leaving here until you do." That same week, I actually blacked out and had a crazy realization next morning, definitely toning down my level and setting my limits for how I act. I consider that a shift in my life. I started to take school a little bit more serious and decided to go a little bit easier on going out.
Yeah, I been walking around with a camera. Drop my hoe cause she live up on camera. Take out the body we see in the thunder. Switch the hoes out like we flipping the channel. I'm never tripping cause life feel a gamble. Life feel a gamble, yeah, life feel a gamble. I'm on my back like a camel. I'm on my back like a mammal. Life feel a gamble, yeah. Prayer won't fall like September. Yeah, she pretty in the face, but got no ass just like all the other white girls. She go to school trying to be a doctor. She keep carrying around that bag that you know I caught them. Eating shrimp and lobster, I'm never gonna go from them.
It get deep inside my city, I'm shooting arrow. If it ain't about the money, it's about the narrow. I've been focused on that money on my payroll. It ain't enough to put the food up on the table. I'm trying to shake my niggas up without a label. I'm trying to shake my niggas up without a label. She get real on that person.
April was the turning point in my relationship with Flute. After a small argument flared up in the studio, it was the end of him recording with me. He took all of his equipment, and that was the end of me being his main producer and engineer. Everything since then has been more spread out, but still important to the story. Just a week after the incident, Akash dropped Gotham Freestyle, his most unhinged and darkest track yet, exposing a side of him that paralleled the Joker from Batman, hence the name Gotham. This was Akash's last publicly released track, marking the end of his released music. Everything from this point were features, leaks, or unfinished projects that he was working on. During the summer, I opened the dialogue back up with Flute, who had a lot of energy and was dedicated to release his own album, titled Pleasures of the Flesh.
How about the jet? I ain't playing no rental. I don't wanna lead that boy, he a runner. Try to paint himself like a slang ain't gonna. Got some folks who ain't no business, they gon' leave him in the car. Trap me the only way, I took the lonely way. Throw me in the butt, I'm grabbing on a ponytail. Once we done got
During the summer, a project from Jugstar K was remixed and titled Extension. After putting his own verse down, Sean E., the lead producer of 527, quickly sent it to Akash, and within 48 hours, delivered arguably his most iconic verse in his career.
Activist up in my coat, I'm rubbing on somebody hoe. Howdy model, penny fake, I play they head like dominoes. These 60 Drakes, vision up, Kyle grown up in section 8, hit his chest night.
The song underwent many name changes, from Extension to Aquarium Sorrows to Fourth Quarter, eventually being named Indica Freestyle, a name given by Akash himself. Indica Freestyle was released under 527 Records on July 19, 2021, marking the group's first single with Flute. The single was an immediate success and propelled Akash into the limelight once again. Additionally, we had a lot of other projects we were working on.
Yo, when I talk, you know they gonna listen. So no attention, they're staying in mind, but I keep my head high when I hear all of this. They mad they can't fuck with a kid. Yeah, I was just scraping my ass on the edge, trying to get money quick. Yeah, for real. I don't take out, they ain't going here. I'm just fucking this bitch. They don't know how much I keep in them pockets. I really live in the way I be.
Drug a pack of runs, took a Spanish bitch to lunch. Every nigga ever play with me, I swear they time come. I will run up on a stick and run up down they
tell me my dick too bland. So I put the seasoning. DJ blow the roof up, they want you to play my song. The club gon' get me rich, I'm just trying to keep my money on. Pop the beat and I can't function, them boys they just wanna jump. Just like a bloody nigga, I'm fucking these red bones. Watch your tongue, if I don't like you, my partner gon' get you gone. That pussy
In August of 2021, Akash and I recorded another project named Booksmart.
4, 5, stay on my hip while I'm clutching at 9. Made it to college, I'm still slanging 9. Booksmart, I made it in front of the line. Stayed out the porch, man, you a nigga hind. Said to your auntie, you know she was buying.
Just 1 week later, on September 5th, Flute added a feature from Will T, a friend and member of the Sigma Chi fraternity in Georgia Tech.
We had me boys on sipping on Tyson. Carry the ganja like a pail of my uncle's fat oxen. These niggas jacking, they copy. Hotel in my city.
Just 3 days after that, on September 8th, a new solo project nicknamed Marta took shape.
Back inside, no more time for my love. Need a one cut tight for the night. I got no juice, so the handy fill me up.
After remixing the beat for a more trap-focused approach, Akash recorded what would later be the intro for Centerpiece.
To the drugs, I just hate being sober lately. Got them hoes, they lined up and they not fucking till they pay me. 100 round Johns everywhere, you think we military. Bankroll in my pocket, going fast, I'm spending way too heavy.
On October 6, 2021, Centerpiece was finalized, with vocals from Jumbo, an intro from Flute, and enhanced production with live synths.
One of these is through martyr. Talking about still, I'm harder. Making them sweat, no sauna. Taking these pills, I'm smarter. One of these is through martyr. Talking about still, I'm harder. Making them sweat, no sauna. Taking these pills, I'm smarter.
That same day, Flute leaked possibly his best single yet, titled Fear, which featured longtime contributor KT Briz.
Then it went no got that. My G-Nigga got some bypass. Spending habits cost me thousands, but I run it right back.
3-5 in my back when I'm smoking strong. Nigga play, we get him gone. He won't let us see a song. He beefing by the bitch, but him and that bitch don't even get along. She just gon' ride the wave until I get rich so I can put.
Come back sophomore year, August 2021. I was a lot more grounded, and I think Flute was a lot more refined, more confident after that summer. We didn't link up as often, and I wasn't involved with his day-to-day life as much. But whenever we did connect, we made it count. A lot of studio sessions. And between July and December, I think that was like Flute's peak. He delivered some of the best vocal performances, some of the best energy. Honestly, that's like Flute's peak. The rest of my sophomore year and the first half of 2022, I think I was a lot more distant from Flute, occasionally texting on Instagram. He did help me run my shows. He pulled through. He performed whenever our DJ performed our songs. He was there. And the real distance started just 2 days after my birthday, April 28th. Flute got booked in Fulton County Jail. That moment just hit really different for me because I realized I couldn't keep up with his lifestyle anymore. It was clear he was doing something that he shouldn't, and he probably won't return to school. I had to shift my focus to my career and my future. No distractions, no chaos, just a grind. And I still want a Flute on my album. So I really pushed hard the summer of 22 to try to get him to my frat house where I was living. It was a really bad, tight space, but it was cool. And he dropped a 16 for No Telling. And that's actually where the story ends. My purpose was to showcase Flute's times as a student with me. And there's a lot of times he's actually saved my life, done some really crazy stuff. And a lot of times we've been in trouble, but those are stories for a different day. And I will share them, I promise. He felt ATL as much as any native did. I mean, he talked like he was from born and raised College Park. He just brought you in this world that was new, so new from suburban life. And he did it effortlessly, like he'd been doing it. He wanted the city. He wanted the action, the thrill, the lifestyle, the experiences, the substances. He wanted all that. But in his moments of recklessness and even some criminality, he always had my back. He was always down for a session. He always picked you up on a spot, welcomed you into his world. He introduced me to his family. I came over to his house. He let me walk his dog. I mean, there's some humanity there. There's some vulnerability in this guy that a lot of people didn't know about. He was a nice guy to a lot of people. He had such diverse interests. I mean, he loved animals. Like, for someone like him, he loved dogs, cats, reptiles. Like, he loved anything animal related. A lot of his tracks were like had very animal-based names. And his grasp on language, like his wordplay and everything, the way he would just say mundane things in such an interesting way. He was meant to be a rapper. I mean, he just had a way with words. Even though he loved music so much, he was still really good at school. He got A's and B's. He was a digital media major, which means he took a lot of computer science classes. And as a high school student, he was pretty proficient in math, science, all of them. After he left Georgia Tech, he always entertained the idea of coming back. He would call me, he'd be like, yeah, I have a way to come back, I got a pathway. I did everything I could. I told him, like, please take it, bro, please take it, but I wish I had done more. I wish I was still there. I wish finishing his degree is something I would have pushed him to do more seriously. And a lot of times the situation was tough, but he's never scared. I never thought that I would have to worry about him. He was just one of those guys where like he'll just find his way. And after a certain point, after 22, 23, I stopped worrying about him. There was actually like a whole year where I didn't see him. I was like, I hope is he alive, and that's it. He was reckless how he carried himself. He was bold, but there was moments where he was gentle and he's vulnerable. And the reason he's my friend stems back to a time in freshman year where I got really high and I was really scared. And I took the hit wrong, and I was coughing a lot. For 5, 10, 15 minutes, I was still coughing. I thought I was gonna die. Had 911 dialed up on my hand. Instead of tapping out for EMS, I called flute. I just barely could speak words. I'm like, bro, I need you. And he came to my dorm. He gave me he sat me down, gave me some water. He's like, drink this. And he calmed me down. And that high was one of the best experiences in my life, because I trusted somebody that I didn't know that well. And there was a time I got a little bit uncomfortable, and I was like, I'm scared. Can I hold your hand? And he held my hand without hesitation. And that's why I'm making this video. It's because he's done a lot of stupid things, but he is a human being that deserves to be treated as such. I love you, Akash. It was hard to make this one. It's hard to lose people.